All right. So we need to figure out exactly how, what, like, to what end you want to do stuff to. Because if you're just talking about making a thing go from spot A to spot B and shoot at the player, there's no AI going on there.
Well, what? Well, I was just thinking the only thing that we're really doing is it's like there's the one UFO that shows up in asteroids.
Right, and it goes from one thing to one side and shoots at the player. But you're like making super Captain Space Cat asteroids.
Yes, this is true.
Right? You've got way more power in this Unity engine
than asteroids ever has before.
Right.
So, what would be it? Like, I don't even really understand. You were talking to me a little bit about. You were explaining what you did with Legend of Dungeon, and that there's these. What did you call them?
States.
States. Okay.
Yeah. Often these are referred to as state machines.
State machines.
Yeah.
Because it's not really.
You go from doing one thing to the next thing to the other thing. Or certain
Switches
interactions
states.
switch you back and forth between states. So I have an idle and a wander and an attack state.
Right.
And then there are actually inside of attack there'd be substates. So what would happen is that like normally you have like two timers.
Sure.
One is counts up while you're in the idle state, and when it hits the end, you go to the wander state.
Right, in Legend of Dungeon.
Right, and you wander until you stop, and then you go back to the idle state.
Then you go to idling.
Right, unless something aggroes.
Unless it reaches inside of this thing, in which case it changes state.
Right, it tells it to switch to a state to run after you. Right. And in that point, it does things like it has a separate states for am I going towards, a state for going away because I'm too close. There's a state for
hops. Those are scissors. Don't eat those. What is wrong with your cat?
It's just
oh, there's a rubber band here. That's what he was trying to eat.
So, then there's like different states for when you're attacking, when to count up to finish the attack, do the attack animation, stuff like that. You shouldn't be running towards somebody. Well, that's all these little like things. Right.
Your behaviors, even.
Right.
Basically in that state.
So like in something like Upsilon Circuit, where we have a really complicated artificial intelligence.
Yeah, like the creatures there actually have a view.
They're aware of all the other creatures of their type around them. They get scared when they get hurt too much, all kinds of crazy stuff. These are all parts of different, very complicated states.
Okay.
So if you think of them as like, what state am I currently in, and what sub-state
do I need in there to make this behavior occur? So, hello, good night to you too, vampire. So in this game that I have here, in my game, what would we want the AI to do?
All right, so
like
we were talking about having a force field around it so it could bump asteroids crazy.
I think it could be really fun.
Horrifying.
Well, it doesn't have to speed them up to like supersonic speeds, which just increase the speed of whatever asteroid hits it to kind of create a little bit of a. It's like kind of a boss, sort of. So like it increases the danger of the entire environment instead of just its own location.
So I think if I were in an alien spaceship and I wanted to destroy Captain Space Cat because out of vengeance, right?
Yeah.
If I wanted to kill his son, because
Captain Space Cat's child.
Right. And then Captain Space Cat would be like, God.
Okay.
Right. So no.
What are you talking about?
So if I was an alien in an alien spaceship and I wanted to kill
Captain Space Cat.
Captain Space Cat.
Okay.
I would be able to my UFO could shoot in any direction, and that's a way big upgrade from Space Cat's spaceship, right? Hub's your cat. Stop yelling at the door.
Okay.
So what I would do is I would say, make sure I'm in firing range.
Do you need to be interneted? I will internet you.
But keep away from Captain Space Cat.
So stay back. Okay, but here's the thing: is Captain
Does he want
Space
to shoot
Cat has a limit to the amount of distance his boats can go.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't want the UFO to stay outside of that.
We can
Oh,
also
but
make him
Captain.
slower than Captain Space Cat, but trying to stay away. And Captain Space Cat has to watch out for all
The
those
thing is, you
asteroids.
can speed up. It's not
Yeah.
like there's anything stopping you from going into crazy
Stupid
speed
fast,
mode
right?
as Captain Space Cat. So encouraging you to be a little reckless in order to kill the UFO might be interesting at the very least. And then after a certain amount of time has gone by, the UFO can just go on its merry way. Like, so it's not like you have to kill it. If you want to survive it ricocheting these asteroids all over and shooting at you, instead of killing it, you can. It'll just come back later. Hobbs. Yeah, up and we have to remind Hobbs that he's a cat fairly often. Otherwise, he'll start thinking he's a dog. This is true. Oh my gosh. Oh, yeah. That's gonna be distracting. All right. So I just realized, like, I'm sitting here on the camera and you're off camera. You're such a ninja. You like it.
It's good for me.
It's good for you. That works.
Okay.
Just envision a very handsome man in a black bucket hat with a star on it, and that's Calvin. That's what he looks like. For those of you who do not know.
Okay, focus.
Yes.
Sorry.
So basically, we need to define exactly how we want this AI to behave.
I think it would be fun to make something that tries to get away, but straight off the bat. Let's make an atom sphere. Make it not even interact with asteroids. And make it try to get away from Captain Space Cat.
Keep away.
If it's in a certain distance from Captain Space Cat.
Within firing range of Captain Space Cat.
Maybe not in firing range.
There isn't really a firing range, but like, you know.
Like within an amount of so Captain Space Cat has a accuracy range, right? There's this so that the farther away you are, the harder it is to hit because it could be off by like a fraction of a thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a good place to start. Do you want to make that happen? Because then we can worry about spawning it and things like that.
Okay. Hobbs is still attacking the thing. All right, so I just make a new object and we give it a new piece of code, basically.
Right.
Boop, boop. The only question I have then is, where do I put do I have to worry about the spawning it stuff inside of this code? Should I be writing the code for this game object separately?
Don't worry about spawning it.
Okay.
Right now, let's add in a thing that gets away from Space Cat if Space Cat's too close.
All right.
It also it's going to need that screen warp, right?
Right.
Which will help its AI become erratic because wherever it warps on the screen, if it's far enough away, so it's going to need to know
the edges of the screen.
About the edges of the screen. And
oh my God, that's going to be complicated.
No,
I think. Yeah, it's gonna have to stay away from the edges of the screen until we have to confine it into that game space until we want it to leave. And once it leaves that game space, it disappears. It leaves for a while. It doesn't screen wrap.
Doesn't screen wrap. So as Space Cat, wait, I'm not sure what you're trying to accomplish.
Hobbs. That's Calvin that you are pawing. I fixed it, Tim. I fixed it for you. Okay. So, all right, hold on. Let's just play this for a minute and look at it and do our game designy things. Okay, so what I'm saying is if a ship comes in, whoa, I'm not used to Windows 8, so that was scary. I didn't know what I just did. Okay, so something comes in from the screen. Jeez, I'm trying to talk and, okay.
Pause it.
Yes, there. No!
It's okay, ready? It's gonna be fine. Relax. Just relax. There, you got a little mini transfer.
Okay, fine. Alvin is not from the village people. He won't do the YMCA dance. That's how I know. Okay, so and your ship can go.
You're touching the screen.
I know.
Hobbs.
Did he bite you?
About to. He's like, I'm gonna play.
Where is it? This one? I don't even know. I have to set that up. New install.
Because I'm over there talking to you. He's like, oh good, I can get his attention.
It's like he only gets attention when there's this area. You ignore him, I guess. You don't. That's true, actually. He just suddenly. It's because we're both busy. It's playtime. Oh, oh man.
Wow, that was adorable.
Yeah. What is wrong with cats?
I don't know.
That was like a deadly move. If you were like a grasshopper,
yeah,
that would be like the most terrifying
the
beast.
End of your life.
And yeah, basically Hobbs just kind of jumped sideways, like really far, like full body sideways. No.
Anyway.
At a paper ball. Okay, so what I was trying to say is this UFO kind of asteroid thingy. I'm dropping frames? No, I'm not. Okay. This is like a new setup for OBS because I had to reinstall. So if anyone's having video problems, let me know, actually. All right. UFO comes in. Suddenly it's like boss mode engage, kind of, right? Because these things are going to be bouncing off of it. And you're going to be trying to shoot it because you get lots of points. Plus, you might get maybe some sort of bonus of some sort. Like it drops a big fish, even. Oh my gosh, Hobbs. And as it goes through, it looks for you, and then it heads towards you, but tries to stay away from you a decent distance and shoots at you. Right? That's the idea. But we don't want it to just stay in a static spot. We want it to kind of move around, right?
Okay, I got an idea. Okay, so it always comes in from the left or the right, and it's always headed to the other side. It's only going to be on screen for a certain amount of time. It's got a starter state, right? Which is that it comes in and moves a little bit to a certain, like we randomize how long it stays in these states. Look at me, don't look at the chat.
Sorry.
Look at me.
Yes.
Randomize how long it stays in the states. If it moves a bit, stops. Idles. It's good if it sees you. If you're in firing range of the UFO, it will shoot at you.
Right.
Right. At any point in time, whether it's moving or not.
And if you get too close to it, it'll try to move away.
It goes a little bit more and sits. And it goes a little bit more and sits and goes a little more. It's trying to get all the way across the screen, right? However, on top of that, if you get too close to it, it will move away from you. At the same time as also deciding whether or not it wants to, keep moving this way.
So we can make it screen wrap vertically, but not horizontally.
Right.
Interesting.
You can kind of trick it because we don't have to detect the wrap on the UFO. So you can, if it pops up into the other side, it's just going to start going towards this other goal. We can make a goal post here and here for it.
And when it reaches that, bam.
When it gets off the screen on that side, it's great. But that way, if it wraps up this way, it'll come up this way and start going back towards the goal.
Right. It still has. It's not like it switches its direction it's going or anything.
Right. No, it won't just sit at the bottom or tops of the screen. It'll try to get towards the end. I think that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, and that's AI then.
Sure, it knows about the player. It's reacting to you.
Okay.
That's what
AI is.
So there's a couple states too. We're going to be making a state machine for it. So let's make stop the game.
Yeah, let's make a new game object.
Go way over. Put this back. Way over there. You don't even need that. I don't know why you're talking about. Okay. Let's do the keep away first. Make it out of sphere.
Game object. Create other. Whoa. Bad at mouse. Create cylinder.
Let's just make a sphere.
Okay. All right. This sphere has a sphere collider, mesh filter.
I don't need to worry about that yet.
Okay.
I'll add a rigid body so we can move it around with physics. It'll be kind of cool.
Rigid body?
Right.
Oh, and we wanted to give it a lot of mass so it doesn't get smacked around by the asteroids.
Don't worry about that.
Not worried about that yet.
So we're going to make it a force field later. But,
give it a script.
Turn off the gravity, freeze, rotation.
The Z plane.
Position and freeze all the rotation. It's not, no.
Oh,
That's position, then there's rotation.
We don't.
See?
Oh.
We don't want it to rotate at all.
We don't want it to spin. So you. Oh.
Right now, it's fine.
Okay, we can change that later.
Actually, if we're gonna have something spin, it can be like a child object or something. Don't worry about it.
Did you get voice acting like Sinistar? The UFO.
I am Sinistar.
Calvin, you can do that. Yeah. when it comes in, you can be like. You can't say Sinistar. We need a new name for the UFO. Can't be Sinistar. All right. So add component script. This will be called a stupid. Create and add. This is a stupid script because it's stuff.
Whoa.
Wait.
You made a JavaScript thing. Close.
Why is that made JavaScript?
Close. Minimize this.
Oh, because this is a new install.
Okay. I'm gonna get rid of this.
It was in C# before, so I forgot that this was a brand new install.
Now you can call it stupid.
It's stupid. Double stupid.
You stupider.
No, I'm not. I don't need to. Hello, Azidin, or Azirin, or however you would like me to pronounce your name. You let me know. Yeah, this is basically just me trying to learn. Me and my husband actually make video games.
No,
he knows how to
don't
program.
spiel.
So he's helping me.
You gotta work.
So
they can look at other things to figure that out.
But I've been blogging it too. It's below. I got him quick. He's also very impatient.
Incredible.
So to make a state of whatever.
Right.
What do I do?
Okay.
How does this work?
Let's start out with not working on a state.
Okay.
And then go to making a state.
I see what you're saying.
Let's start off with just the basic thing to go away from SpaceCat and screen wrap. So we're going to give it the screen wrap code, and that'll work separately all on its own, right?
Mm-hmm.
First thing we need to do is we're going to use SpaceCat's game object to know his position, right? So you're going to be able to, you have to get that.
So I have to remember how to find an object. Okay.
Use your brains.
Thanks, Fawful. Calvin doesn't let me talk to the humans. Hopefully the blog is actually useful. I'm like one video behind on it actually, but there's not much to it other than the recorded videos and a couple thoughts. Because I'm just too busy to write long, big things. All right, so I need to find. Okay, where did I do that before? It's like everywhere now. I've done it a bunch of times here. Blurb. Okay. it is with the space bar, right? Yep, space bar. Here we go. Game objects, then I name the game object, and I do things to the game object. But is that how I do this?
So, what are you having trouble with?
I'm trying to remember how I pull information from another game object.
Okay. So.
Tell me where I did it before, and I'll try to figure it out.
You do it right here for your shield in your hall.
The send message thing?
What? What? Look, that's fish pop.
Well, I know, but is it like...
No. Stop. Listen. Ready? You're just all over the place.
Am I? I'm not thinking about it, right?
You're not thinking at all. Just stop.
I'm
stop.
just...
You just guessed in a random direction of what you were looking at. Stop that. You're super smart.
Yes.
Try and be super smart.
Okay.
So, think about this. You are going to get the position of Space Cat.
I want the transform of Space Cat.
Right.
Yes.
You know that you can get at that through the game object or through the transform directly. All you have to do is reference the components, remember?
No, that's why I don't remember. That's why I was trying to find a spot where I did it before so that I could remember.
You just have to expose it to the inspector. Do you remember how to expose things to the inspector?
You make them a game object like this.
You make them public.
Yes.
So, let's expose the transform only of Space Cat. That's game object. Just do it with transform. I'm trying to...
Public transform?
Yeah.
Oh.
Do that.
Okay.
And then call it Space Cat or something.
Nemesis. No, that might not be clear enough. Captain.
Put the semicolon on the end.
You're
so slow. Okay. So go back to Unity.
I'm trying to absorb
Back to
the
Unity.
information.
Back to Unity.
Okay.
Did you save it?
No, you were rushing me to
Click here.
back to Unity.
Gosh.
Don't touch the screen.
Save.
Oh my goodness.
Go back to Unity. Okay. Then.
Okay, we got this, guys.
Reference it.
Right. It's right here. So we put the ship right here.
Perfect.
Ba-bam. What is that noise?
It's
Huh?
Pops.
I don't.
Dude, what are you doing?
He's being adorable. It's like you're doing big things. I gotta be part of it. Yes, code kung fu. That is exactly what I'm learning, Scorpy. Yeah, this is the first time making an AI, which should be interesting. All right, so I've done that. So what's the next thing you're gonna yell at me about? No. Okay, now
Figure
I
out
need to.
how to move away from that.
Yes.
Use it. I
remember you telling me something about void update versus use my what?
Void update versus what? What are we talking about? Ask me a question.
Well, in here we have this other thing. This void something else. Fixed update.
Mm-hmm. That's for physics.
That's just for physics. But you said that we were gonna move the UFO in physics. Mm-hmm. So I wasn't sure if I should create a new fixed update for the UFO.
Totally just put fixed update in there instead.
Yeah?
Sure.
The way you said that makes me feel like you're like, I will let her make a mistake.
That's fine.
No, that's good. Okay. Fixed update. Okay. So this is where I will put the things.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the difference between fixed update and update again?
Physics.
Just physics.
One fixed update. Physics happens on a consistent. More of the cat. I can work the cat. You can't do more than one thing at a time.
Yes, sir.
Good. Fixed update.
Yes.
Click, 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 click. Every physics update.
Okay.
Update every frame.
Frames versus physics. Got it. It's not going to pass the Turing test, Muffin Hat. I appreciate the hope, though. You can keep hoping. Maybe a miracle will happen. All right, so what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to say, hey, where's Captain and where am I? And let me go farther away then this something. How do I even start to do that?
Okay.
All right, so the first part of that, yes?
Yeah, go ahead. No, what's the first part of that?
The first part of that is writing up something that has me check the transform of Captain.
What?
To get the numbers that I need from Captain to this, like,
I have no idea what you're going to say.
I don't know, the words.
I'm gonna help you out here because there's some maths. Ready?
I need to do some kind of equation.
Very simple.
Okay.
You take your position of your object, your DUFO position,
Right.
you subtract it from the other one.
Mm-hmm.
And that will give you, because it's all vectors in space, remember?
That'll give me the difference between the two.
That'll give you the difference between the two.
And then I have a set, if bigger than this difference versus that difference, do these things?
Well, you can do all kinds of things. You can get the magnitude of that difference, all kinds of stuff. Yes. There's also, I wouldn't even bother with that too much because you can do things like get the distance between two vectors, and it'll just tell you. You can do math. There's functions inside of vector 3 to give you the difference between two vectors. So don't worry about that. Right
so
now,
what do I need to do?
Right now,
yes, sir.
you just need to get the direction. Okay.
Direction?
Which is the difference between those two vectors. That's the direction.
Oh,
so
okay.
If you get that direction and then normalize it,
which is bringing it to a 1.
yes.
I'm remembering.
Then
there's this value somewhere between.
You can use that value to push your rigid body with a force. Alex, don't focus on the cat, focus on your toes. You
so
push
cute.
the rigid body
Yes.
with in that direction.
So I need to get it multiple times to know which.
No, you didn't do it in the update. It will happen multiple times.
Okay.
Right?
Not in the fixed update.
In the fixed update.
In the fixed update. Okay.
Do you understand why?
Well, I need it multiple times to know which direction it's going.
No.
It's like triangulating.
You don't need it multiple times to tell what direction it's going.
Okay. Why not? I just don't understand. Okay, hold on. Let me think this through. All right, so I'm going to take the value as far as the difference is concerned between my ship and my UFO. You are going to get scratched. You should put the glove on.
Why don't you do that?
All right, so I take the difference. Oh, Valhund, these editor colors are, it's the Japanese-ish kind of Asian-sounding color scheme inside of MonoDevelop. It's the only pretty one. Thank you. I didn't do them. All right, so I get these two values, one from the ship, one from the UFO, which are their positions. So I've got those on the screen of these two positions, and I tell the computer to check the distance between the two.
No.
Because you told me that you just gave me multiple different pieces of information.
No,
You said the computer can check the.
Oh, okay, yes. So let's try and segment this out between like each stage. There's something that happens on the screen.
Okay, let me just comment this out and write out everything that needs to happen. Step 1.
Subtract your position from the position of the space cat.
Subtract UFO from cat. Transforms. Okay. Which will then give me a number.
No, I won't give you a number.
No, but we. Wait.
If you subtract position from position, a vector 3 from
It'll give me a new
3,
position.
you'll get a vector 3.
A new value. I'm sorry. So this new value, which I then normalize?
Yes.
Okay. So I normalize the returned value, which then results in something that has a 0 to 1 scale. Magnitude.
Actually, it just has a magnitude. It'll have a magnitude of 1.
We'll have a magnitude of 1. Right. That's what normalizing does. Okay. Got it.
So then, use that value to move the rigid body.
In what direction?
Alex, what is all that work that you just did is the direction.
Okay, so I have my ship. Well, that's what I'm trying to understand. It doesn't make sense to me. Okay. Give me a second to explain why I'm confused, and then maybe you can alleviate my confusion. I'm gonna get off my stool here. Okay, so ship, UFO, right? UFO ship. I take the data that is their 2 locations. I subtract the UFO location from the cat location. And then it returns a magnitude of 1.
No.
For whatever that resulting.
No. That's not what happens when you subtract those 2.
No, it doesn't. It gives me a number, a location.
Position.
That I'm then getting the magnitude of afterwards.
No, you're not.
Wait, then why am I not normalizing? Whoa, I stuttered.
Because you're saying the wrong words. You're not getting the magnitude of it. You're normalizing it to have a magnitude of 1.
Why do I do that?
Because otherwise, it has a magnitude of
vector.
A huge amount, and you don't know what it is, and you can't apply that huge amount of force.
It's an undefined.
It's whatever the distance between those 2 are.
It's undefined. We don't know until.
We know. So the difference is the distance between those 2.
So this is at.
You don't want to push something of force of the distance between the 2. That would be terrible. It would go blasting.
Well, I'm not trying to propel it at a certain speed by doing this. We're just picking a direction.
No, you're adding a force to the rigid body. That's the only way you can do it.
Right. Based off of this?
That's how you move things on a rigid body. You put a force.
Yeah, but you don't calculate how far away from this am I compared to this. Let me go this fast because I'm not far away. That makes no sense.
That's why you normalize it.
So I'm only pushing for 1.
Right.
But then what am I doing? No. What? Why? It's communicating, programming stuff is really hard.
It's not.
It's difficult. Hard. It is.
Okay, so think about it.
When you and I are conversing and you say stuff that you understand, I don't necessarily understand it, which is what I'm trying to do now. Ready? Yes, sir. Ready.
Listen.
What's up?
We need to get a force, which is a vector value.
Right.
To push the UFO.
The UFO needs push from a vector.
It is a vector value.
Right.
That will be the push. Okay?
Okay.
Understand?
Yes, I think so.
It means it's going to be a direction. We're actually going to use a 3D direction, but because we have 3D objects. But that's not the point. The point is that there's just going to be X and a Y. If you see the X and Y grid.
Yeah, there's a grid.
Okay.
Sure.
You gotta look at me again. An amount of X and an amount of Y that will tell what direction we're going to push this ship in, right? And we want that force. What are you doing? You're not paying attention to me.
I'm making a grid, and I want you to draw it for me.
I'm not going over there.
I'm not going over there.
Okay, so the thing is that your ship is going to be here, right, on this one, and we're gonna probably give it a force of like 2 or 3 or something like that.
Whatever
Or 50
is
even.
relevant to the motion inside the game.
Right.
Okay, so we'll tweak that. That's gonna be something that's modifiable.
But and we need to go towards the ship, right?
Unless
so
if the ship is too. I thought the first thing I was doing is
away from the ship.
Okay.
Away from the ship. I'm
Thank
sorry.
you. No, I was trying.
Because it's the same to me. It's the same
I
exact
understand.
equation. It's
I
the
know.
same thing.
Well, it's gotta be the opposite equation, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh,
But this
hello,
is just
people.
a matter of what direction you do the subtraction, right? So if you can do one,
Right.
you do it
Subtract
wrong, you
the
put them on the
UFO
other
from
sides, right? No big deal. Okay, so listen.
Okay.
But that's the point. That's the point I'm trying to get at. Is that we need to know what that direction is. We don't know what it is. We know we want it to be a certain value of that much, right? But we don't know what direction it is.
Okay.
So let's say, so this is the force amounts, right?
That's
Great.
force.
Put that up there. That's the
Force. I don't know if you can see this. Hold on. The dot in the center is one of the things, and then the dot on the other side is the thing, and then the ring is the force or something, I think. Oh, I don't know that I can ever understand quaternions. Onions? I don't think I can understand Q onions. Not for a little while yet. That's something that Calvin has warned me about being difficult. Yeah, I have very technical terminology for everything.
Okay.
All right. I see little notches and I see 2 dots.
Right?
Okay.
So this is our X and our Y.
Okay.
Inside of the video game.
Right. I'm assuming so. Yes.
This here is our UFO.
Okay.
And this is
the
a space
ship
cat.
is up higher than the UFO.
Doesn't matter, right? So,
sure.
So what is this? This guy is at
3-1 ish.
So Y of 3. I usually calculate X first. So it's 1, 3. And this one over here is at 1, 2, 3, 2.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
So we're subtracting.
Okay.
1 minus 3
is -2.
3 minus 2?
1.
Right?
Okay, so -3 would be over here.
We're not -2. -2, right?
Oh yeah, -2.
So that's here. And then 1 is this one.
So it's going
so
down.
We're going to get to that spot, and that's right where it is. So that, we calculated the direction towards. All you have to do is the other one is subtracting the other.
But that doesn't look like it's going to move it towards anything.
This is a direction. It is not a location and direction. It's just a direction. What happens if we move this spot? This is the line. This is the important part.
Oh, okay.
What happens if we move that? If we take that line.
If we following that path.
Right?
All right. So we're not making the propulsion. We're making the path that it's going to propel along.
That's what the propulsion is. So I don't know why you said we're not making the propulsion. That didn't make any sense.
Okay, gotcha. We're taking the thrusters and we're pointing them in that direction due to the math, and then the thrusters go because that's the function.
The way that force works.
Here's what Calvin was showing me. See the little grid, the 2 dots over here. Whoa, backwards. Over here are the ship and the UFO, and then we did the math, and the stuff over here is the result of it, and that's the direction we would go. Is that can't this way.
All right, so that's why we're getting the subtraction. But the problem is that value is too big, right? If we got a ruler out and we measured how long that line is, it's going to be too much force, right?
Don't actually. Okay, this is where I'm getting confused. This is the part that's throwing me off. That part right there. The idea that the length of this line is the amount of force that's happening.
It's not.
Yeah.
We don't want that.
Right. I understand.
Okay.
We just want the direction, and then we want to set our own force.
Right.
So what you're saying is that by normalizing it,
yes.
it was going to enable us to add our own force.
Right.
Okay. That's what I was saying is a communication issue. Talking about these things is difficult because I'm not knowledgeable enough about the programming stuff to fully grasp what you're saying, basically. Okay, so I get what you're saying I need to do now, kind of. So I'm going to be... Oh, right, I need to make my text bigger so everybody can see it. I wish it automatically... I wish I could save the zoom size. It resets all the time. There might be some sort of option somewhere where I can reset it. All right, so what I want to do is I want to get the transform of the game object that is the UFO, which I'm currently, this is where this script is attached. Thanks, Scorpy. That's a very simple way of putting it. So many people watching actually know how to program. It's so interesting. No tips, though. Don't give me hints. Calvin gets upset at me when I cheat. At least when I cheat too much. Okay. Oh, Control Plus. That works. I didn't know it works in MonoDissolve. I'm still a noob. All right. Void fix update. I want the game object transform, which I should get automatically by just typing in transform with lowercase t, I think. Transform, no, I don't want to say transform equals. I want to say well, oh my gosh. I'm not quite sure that I understand what I'm doing here quite. I get the subtract the UFO from cat transforms and then normalize the return. Okay. But then what kind of statement am I making here? Am I just saying that the transform, I don't want to change the transform. I don't want to say transform equals something.
You don't want to use transform, well, you want to start with the transform, but.
Transform minus captain.
No. You can't, the transform, Alex, what is the transform?
I have to make this into another, what is it?
What is the transform?
It's a float.
No, it's not.
No, not a float. It's a number that's inside of the game object. It's the game object. It's a constantly moving value.
It's not a value.
It's a vector.
Nope.
What the heck is it then?
Look at a game object in Unity. Look at its transform component. It's a component.
Component.
What does it have in it?
Oh, the position is what I want.
There you go.
Derp. I just got confused because I was looking at the public transform captain going, yeah, that's what I want. So I want the other one too. Okay, so it's transform.position. Not local position?
Not local position.
What's the difference?
Parents. Local position is how far it is from its parent. Relative to its parent. You want world position, so just use position.
Okay. And then after I normalize it, I want to make that, whatever it returns, that return of the normalized thing, a public float of some sort?
What?
Well, how do I alter the value of the...
Okay, hold on.
Understanding this stuff is confusing.
Start at the bottom. Let's start at the bottom. Oh, just stop pressing things. No, just
why did it autofill animation? I wanted to say position. Okay.
It's just because so far you're in a weird place. So let's start with what we're trying to get to, right?
Yes.
The last thing you want to do.
All right, I want to add force to the rigid body of the UFO.
And what does add force want?
A vector. And then something called force.
Well, this all by itself, just like that, will be perfect.
Careful when you touch my screen.
So, add force.
Yes.
Vector 3 called force. That's all it wants is a vector 3. So you've got to get it to a vector 3. That's your goal.
I have to get what to a vector? What?
You got to get the vector 3 to send it.
Right, that's what I'm working on here.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Yeah.
So you don't want to floats.
I don't want floats. All I want is vectors. I get that. So the normalizing leaves it's still a vector. It just has a magnitude of 1.
First start on this. Get a vector out of that.
Okay.
You can't just subtract things and do nothing with them.
Well, I know that.
All right.
Still comment it out. Just do weird stuff to my stuff.
So it would autocomplete.
COMG, I think Calvin is starting at the bottom to help me understand the entirety of what I have to do. Oh, sorry, sneezing suddenly. Okay. Bleh. All right.
Please, I'm Dee. Please don't tell her how to do it. She's trying to learn.
Oh, I'm Dee. I'm learning. Yeah, I can't look at my chat now. It's okay. The goal of this isn't actually to make a game so much as it is for me to learn, because we already make games. I do game design and art and fun stuff like business things. And Calvin is the programmer generally, but I wanted to learn how to program at least to the point where I could understand what he was talking about a little more clearly, so I could be more helpful and so that I could understand game design a little more fully. All right, so I need vector 3 because it's 3 dimensions, even though technically I'm only working in 2 of them, right? Is that how vectors work?
I'm sorry, what?
A vector 3?
Yeah.
Because I'm working in 3 dimensions?
Yep.
Vector 2 is
those
2 dimensions?
Those positions are vector 3s.
Right.
So you're going to get a vector 3 if you subtract.
Come on, baby, do the locomotion.
Alex, oh my God.
I named it locomotion.
Okay.
Vector 3 locomotion equals transform dot position minus captain position semicolon. Is that an acceptable? Looks to be. Okay. Then from there, after that, I want, how do you normalize things? Locomotion dot normalize? Not normalize edit.
There's 2 ways to do it. Both of those will work. You just have to know what they want and how to use them properly.
Okie dokie. Normalize is just kind of in past tense. I'm not really sure what the difference is entirely.
Well, yeah,
But yeah, I have to look that up.
Start putting the parenthesis on normalize. You'll get it.
Public void normalize.
Right.
Possibly with a vector inside it. Static. Public static or public void.
Okay. Doesn't take anything. Well, you could give it something. Don't do that. So
it's valid all by itself so long as you give it.
So I'll tell you the difference. Normalized takes your vector, normalized, ed, past tense. Okay, takes your vector, normalizes it, and sends it out and returns it.
So that sends and returns.
So no,
return this
so it doesn't
being
change
normalized.
the value of your current one. It just returns a normalized version of it on the other side of the equals, right?
So
this one
actually messes with it, whereas the other one is just like, this is what it would be if I messed with it, kind of.
Yep.
Oh, I see, I see. Interesting.
So you're almost there.
All right, so then, okay, so now I've got it so that I have a vector 3 called locomotion. And that is, the value of that is equal to transform.position minus the captain position. The transformed position being the UFO. Then I normalize that so that it now has the magnitude of 1 automatically. And then I need to add force to the rigid body of locomotion. I hate when it feels so simple that it's...
Don't just wildly stab at it.
No, I'm not wildly
Very
stabbing at
procedural.
it. I'm not wildly stabbing at it. I'm going, well, what seems right next? You just remember, I'm just unsure.
Okay.
I come to a conclusion and then I'm like, is this right?
So what you said is not what you're actually doing there. What you're actually doing there is right. What you said sounds crazy.
I thought that's what I.
So
What?
When you said like I have to add it to locomotion, it's like no, the wording was really weird, and I was like, what the hell is she doing?
Well, I'm not very comfortable with the language yet. You know?
I don't know. Express why I was like, what the hell are you talking about?
Crazy lady doing the crazy things. Okay. All right. So now I have a thing.
I would suggest adding your screen wrap to it so you don't. Well, it doesn't matter.
I can.
Save it
where
and press
is
play.
my screen wrap? It is called.
No, not in there. You don't want to do it in there.
I'm trying to. Okay.
Right?
I was trying to remember what it was called. I can't remember. I think it's Beam Me Up.
Yeah.
Sounds right. All right, so I need to create a spot for it.
Well, what?
Don't I?
What are you doing?
Oh, no, I could just drag it right into it. That's right.
It's okay.
So I'm making an A stupid instead of an AI. It's because the AI would know what I was doing.
No, I don't think so.
No, I got this. It's been a couple days since I've done this, so I'm a little bit thrown off. That's all. Sphere is right. 1 click. I just take Beam Me Up and attach it.
You can either attach it to the bottom or you can just drag it onto the object in hierarchy.
Oh, that would be nice.
There.
It wasn't letting me do the other thing. It won't let you scroll once you're holding a thing.
It does. You just got to be at the bottom.
There's still a lot of user interface that I have yet to master and understand.
Same here.
It's all voodoo magic to me.
So, give it a go.
Yes, sir. All right. I should probably save it. Did that save? Nothing moved. It made me nervous.
You're fine.
No? Okay. Sweet.
What are you doing? Test it. Driving crazy.
I'm not quite sure what it's even going to do. I was trying to think in my head about what it's going to do. Calvin, I'm learning.
I know.
I need to process things.
I know.
It takes me some time sometimes. It takes a little time.
You already took that time, though. You did it. Now you should.
But now, but when I hit start, I'm going, should I be expecting it to just rocket off in some direction until the end?
You can't press the play button.
I'm curious if I can predict it.
Because that's driving me crazy.
You're driving me crazy. See? It's going away, and it won't stop detecting. Okay. I crashed into something and died. All right. All right. So if I, as soon as this happens, if I go, oh.
Yes, it's working.
Okay, it is working. All right. Humps, would you stop standing on crinkly stuff under my desk, dude?
Just gonna bite.
Say hi to the internet, Hobbs. Hi, I'm Hobbs. I like to be obnoxious.
So, next thing to do. Make it only run away when it's at a certain distance.
Yep. I am making a pet rock. That's right, Chewie. Obviously. The only conclusion that you could come to. Oh. Did you run away for a little while, Maki? Welcome back. Yeah, I'm trying to figure it all out. I'm getting there, guys. Oh, I didn't. Welcome to my channel, Demigration, or our channel, I should say. Thanks for stopping by. I'm learning to program and doing so publicly because most people don't want to look stupid on the internet, and I don't mind because I'm confident in my own level of intelligence.
So
I now need. Okay, so this.
You figure this out on your own. I'm gonna go
watch some anime.
No, I'm chatting with Dave.
No, I'm just teasing you. You can, yeah. Oh yeah, do some work stuff.
I'm gonna use my towel to do that.
Oh, okay. You could also set up in the office, not office, in the other room.
That's what I'm doing.
Oh.
I got it figured out. You do your thing.
All right, I'm on my own. Oh, sorry, the timey-wimey stuff. I didn't realize you were talking to the cat. Scorpio, if I saw an alien in space, I would not be trying to understand it. I'd be like, no, actually, I probably would. I'd be like, hey, do you want some space food? I'd be like, trying to figure out if it's going to eat me or if it's contagious or something. Hello, Tato. I am about to try to figure out how to make this stay a minimum distance away from this. I can't point with two fingers. That kind of confuses people. I'm sorry. Polo, the way that Calvin and I do things is pretty unorthodox. So I'm not sure, like, actually, this is a general good idea, but take all of your advice that you get from people, especially people on the internet, but from everywhere. Take all of the advice with a very, as they say, with a grain of salt. Nobody can make, you could just get various different experiences. You don't necessarily get good advice from anybody. Calvin and I are pretty much entirely self-taught. So I'm not really sure if you're planning on studying stuff in school or not. But we personally, both of us are kind of like, why go to school when all of the information is right on the internet? Free. That's a huge portion of it. Real world experience is way more valuable than classroom experience. Yeah, that's basically all I have to say about that. Tato, it is distracting to stream while I'm trying to learn because of chat and the interactivity there, but it's also motivating, and the intention of this is to I don't know what I'm doing, and most people who start learning to program don't know what they're doing, and most people don't broadcast that experience. And I wanted to make programming seem a little bit more within people's grasp. And I'm kind of also, I blog about it, and I like post up my videos on my blog, which is below the stream. And hopefully I'm kind of people's running buddies. Like I give some people that spaced out kind of, oh, I better do this today so I don't fall behind kind of feeling. Although I've been falling behind a little bit myself, so there's that too. But anyhow, I need to UFO space. Okay. This is also going to happen within fixed update, I think. All right, so let's follow along these same strategy here of planning it out first. But Apollo, the best thing you can do for yourself is not wait. That's probably the biggest piece of advice I'd give you. If you want to study design and development of video games, concentrating on programming, design a game jam. Do a game jam. Make something really simple and just start. What I've discovered with this asteroids game, I started really simple. You know, it's literally, it was basically just asteroids. You know, your ship loads up. Oops, that's right. And it's still active. Your ship loads up. You can propel yourself. You have to turn around to kind of stop. Otherwise, you just keep floating in space. You can shoot. Woo! Try not to get hit by stuff. And in classic asteroids, there's like 3 sizes of asteroid. You shoot them, and then you get points. And I was like, well, I want to make it my own, a little bit at least. So I gave you a shield that powers up only if you have... Oh, there was an asteroid there. I didn't see it. I'm dead. It powers up only if you have enough fuel. So I had to make a fuel gauge here. And I made it so that the large asteroids, just like in classic asteroids, the large asteroids break into other asteroids, the medium-sized ones. If I can shoot one. There we go. Woo! Shoot. Oh, I'm so bad at my own game. And then the medium-sized asteroids. Here we go. No, that was bad. Oh, I'm scared of the edges. Don't go to the edges. Oh, there's a fish. Those are fuel. The fishes are fuel because I'm a Captain Space Cat. So graphics. Oh, there we go. Okay. So I used too much fuel navigating to make up for it. But once your fuel gauge hits that green spot, your shield will return. And then if it gets knocked down, it takes a few moments to recharge, and then it'll come back up again. So it's kind of like your lives in a sense. It maybe makes the game a little too easy, and I'm balancing things to make it more fun, etc. But I could go on from here and give you all kinds of things. I could take this simple thing that has taken me about 35 hours. This is about 35 hours of work. I could take this and I could spend a whole year on it. I could add power-ups. I could add multiple different enemy types. I could add tons of different scenes, like levels, even, if you will. I could add. I could just keep going, basically. I could add different game modes. I'm going to be actually making this 2-player, local co-op, 2-player, sort of co-op. Bim Clunk, just so you know, I'm fairly certain that that kind of, I'm not programming at all, but Calvin's not here, he can't stop me. I'm fairly sure that that kind of popping around from one thing to the other is really common. I'm kind of capable of a lot of different stuff at this point. I know how to do stained glass, I can sew, I can build yurts, I can build straw bale homes, I know how to make chocolate. truffles and various other chocolate confections. I know how to do massage therapy, and I know how to design games. I know a lot about nutrition and how to cook. I know how to run a kitchen. I know how to run a coffee shop from a business standpoint. And I just keep and the knowledge just keeps stacking up until you find something you're really passionate about. And then it'll stick. And the thing is, programming isn't always fun. I've already learned that. It's not always fun. There are some rough, frustrating spots. And you can only get past those spots if you're passionate at what you want to do. Like, if this is really what I want to do, I'm going to go. I'm not going to stop. And that's the kind of thing you need to feel for most things in life. There's always lumps. Yeah, Chewy, I know. Massage therapy and yurts. The yurt research happened before moving into the treehouse, because we were like, what are we going to live in? We need something cheap, portable, because we had to be able to carry the pieces of it up a 30-minute hike up a mountain. So the lighter and the more portable it was, the better. And we did some research, and I decided a yurt was probably the best kind of roof we could have. And it worked awesome in a tree. There were some problems, but it's a long story. Anyhow, okay, this is not story time with Alex. I need a program. I need to figure this out. There's like a 10-minute chunk in here. And Tom's going to scold me later. I'm going to get in trouble, guys. Okay. What do I need to do to make, like, I don't quite understand the values happening here, but what do I need? Ignoring values that I need. I know I'll need the transform position in a similar way here. I'll need both transform positions. But what do I do with them? Okay, all right, so I need to come up with some kind of a Bim Clunk. Feature creep is one of the most troublesome parts of not programming a game, but designing a game. If you set out exactly, like if you have a really clear plan with all of the features and all the things you need for it, you just have that list and you go down it, no problems. But when you get creative with it, pew, there goes everything. All right. Yeah, I'm probably going to need a conditional statement, because it's got a check, right? But I don't know if I need to do, I think I need to do, this is going to actually be inside, this is going to be what's inside the if statement. And I need to do some kind of calculation prior to that, before checking the if, in order to determine when it goes. Because this is the code for it going, oops, no touching the screen. This is the code for it going away. That's right. That's right. It's a sandbox MMO. Oh my god. Oh, thanks though. Oh my god. That's, yeah. No, that's yeah. Okay. No, this is not going to be an MMO. There's not. The only thing that I might do is I might try to make an online scoreboard. We'll see how I feel about that later, though. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know. Okay. So this is probably going to be an if statement. And it's probably going to look like whatever I write here, this. Okay, so if value returned from above equation, I don't need to specify that, value returned is less than some other value. Okay, so I need to take the, okay, because, Polo, what do you mean? You mean like you mean a diploma? A diplomat is like that's something else. A diploma, there's no T. A diplomat's like politics stuff. Diplomas are useful sometimes, but they actually just recently did like Google reported a thing, and it said that 14% of certain Google teams, 14% do not have any kind of college education. Like they have no graduates of college. So at least 14%. And that number is probably going to grow because the thing is, what a college will do is it will give you a set amount of information. That set amount of information is the same amount of information it is giving every single other student in that course. So what they will get is that course, that chunk of information. Whereas if you get somebody who hasn't gone to school, or somebody just who goes above and beyond and is learning outside of the curriculum, etc., they're no longer in this box that is the amount of education that they've been fed. And so you have a more powerful asset in your company. You have somebody who's more capable of self-motivation. You've got somebody who's more capable of understanding what's happening because they taught themselves, or they are just capable of getting information better. I don't know, but I got a program. Yes, exactly, Lucky. I got a program. I'm thinking. Yeah, I could probably talk about that kind of stuff forever. Maybe I should just have a story time with Ix for real. Story time with Alex. I'm happy. I enjoy talking about this kind of stuff and giving my thoughts on the industry and things like that. I don't know how helpful it is because, like I said, it's just the one perspective. But okay, so my thinking as far as this chunk of code goes, since I've never done this before, I'm thinking I'm going to want these two numbers. Oops, I didn't mean to touch it. Why did it change color? Oh, because this isn't. What? Why did it change color? Sometimes mono develop is weird. It's fine now. I don't know what happened. Maybe maybe I'll do something like that at some point. Not now though, because obviously I have things I'm supposed to do, and I'm only supposed to spend about an hour doing it, which is already pretty much past, so I've got to get going. I'm going to actually try to focus a little better here, which is hard because the social stuff is fun. Anyhow, okay. So I need to get, all right, so it's returning a vector, and then I need to say if the difference in this value, or if the value is less than or greater than something. So I need to, oh my gosh, how do I do this? All right, so these are the two things that I'm dealing with right here. All right, when the ship and this are this close, I want this to be moving away. How do I determine where on the screen space, not screen space, but like where the ship is and where this is, and when it's too close? Okay. There's other options aside from monodevelop to use inside of Unity. When Calvin comes back, ask him or tweet at him too. You can ask. I don't remember what he uses, but it's not monodevelop. I'm only using monodevelop because I'm only using free stuff to make sure there's no wall for anybody who wants to learn along with me. Okay, so if value returned. Okay, so come on, Alex, you can do this. You're smart. You just have never done this before and don't even know half of what Unity can do. No big problem, you got this. Okay. I want to find out the distance between the two of them. I want to get, what is that called? I feel like I did that somewhere. Did I do that anywhere else? Wiggle bottoms? No, that's shaking stuff. It's a big asteroid. What does beam me up do? Oops, here. Beam me up. Okay. Okay, so the tricky part is the values on the screen go from both. Yeah, Visual Studio is probably what he uses. Okay, I had coffee right before I streamed. It doesn't help me very much, so it's like drinking water. No, not really. It doesn't increase my ability to focus when there's humans that I can pay attention to right there. That makes it so that I don't have to think about it. Okay. I could get the various different, I can pull the exact Y and X from, do I want to do that for any reason? It could be negative or positive. Is there a way to find the difference? There's gotta be. I feel like I must have done it somewhere. Have I done that anywhere? Been like, hey, there's this and then there's this. What's the difference in stuff? And then find out if that difference is. Thanks, the oh my god. The OMG. I don't know that that actually stands for oh my god. It could be something else like opera major grandma. Here you go. Ooh, I think Wraith just gave me a secret. Let me see if I've used. Oh, distance, not. This doesn't seem to be actually searching what I want it to search. What is happening? Whatever. I don't know how to do this. I use this thing. You only know the actual math formula in your head to get the distance. Ooh. Yeah. No. No, I appreciate this. I'm actually going to check out this post here and see if this is... Yes! Yes, exactly. I knew there had to be something. Thank you, Rafe. Okay. Okay. Returns the distance between A and B. Okay. Awesome! That makes my life so easy. Easy, easy peasy. Thank you, AC Ray. Okay. I'm gonna do some programming. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Okay, so this is gonna be just something that I calculate when this thing is in existence, which is important. It's always going to happen. I don't need to toggle anything anywhere special. So I'm just going to put it in here, and then I'll rethink my life afterwards. The reason I'm learning C# in Unity is because that's what Calvin uses right now. And so it made sense to do what he's most familiar with and the thing that would probably be the most helpful to understand. Boop, bam, simple, very functional. We'll see. All right, so I need a new thing. It's going to be vector 3. Vector 3 dot distance. No, vector 3. So I need a new vector 3 for this. Yes, right, punch cards. Just like they used to. Old school computers. So smart. Scorpion, my current goal in code is to make this game functional, which is going to teach me basic menu systems, a lot of the basics of general programming, like using if statements. About a month ago, yeah, give or take a week, about a month ago, I started. And I do this about an hour a day. I miss a few days because we have busy life right now. And I'm really just trying to learn the basics and get comfortable with the language and syntax and all that stuff. So the goal is really just make Captain Space Cat the game and learn as much as I can as I go. Oh, my current goal is to make this sphere, which is going to be the UFO, the asteroid UFO. It's like a AI. It's my first AI, basically. That's what I'm trying to make. And I'm trying to make it stay a certain distance away from the cat ship. So that's the first step. And then I'm going to make it head towards the cat ship if it's a certain distance away from it, just up and down in the vertical plane. And it's going to be constantly trying to get across the screen on the horizontal plane. Oh, it does. It returned to float. You're right. Thank you. I would have probably been very confused about that for a little while. I was already feeling like the vector 3 was the wrong thing to be using, but the float is called You Were So Far Away. No, that's too long. Can go the distance. There we go. All sorts of different songs. Scorpio, I want it to be able to stay kind of outside the, like right on the edge of the player's shot range, so that it's kind of playing it safe for the most part, and the player would actually have to accelerate quickly in order to catch up, which is dangerous since there's asteroids everywhere. Okay, float the distance equals vector 3 dot distance public static float distance, and then I put inside of it these two. Okay, float distance, vector distance, blah, 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 blah. If I can go the distance, if the distance, oops, let's capitalize that one just because. If the distance is less than Muffinette, that's actually exactly what this line does, I think. Remember, I am still learning, and I am doing this currently unsupervised, so who knows? I could suffocate myself in a small plastic bag accidentally. The distance being the distance of the vector 3 position. This is the UFO, or this is the ship. This is the UFO, because this is actually attached to the UFO thingy. And so then if the distance is less than some other value, I don't know what, what inconsistency did I do? Somebody's telling me I'm doing inconsistencies. Okay. Okay. Sorry about that. Wait, what did somebody tweeted? Tweetages. Oh, man, why is it not showing times right now? That's so dumb. Oh, someone was playing Legend of Dungeon and I missed it. Blurb. Whatever. I am not doing very well as far as coding habits go. I am still failing to remember semicolons and things like that. I'm still learning. Okay, all right. Distance, transform position, cat position. Okay, so the distance between those two is what I'm concerned about. It's just assign it some random value. Is the problem that Calvin was talking about with that's great. Thanks for that. Okay. Yeah, this is definitely the artist. This is artist programming. It's not programmer art. It's equivalent, definitely. Okay. What is F's value? What does this need to be? I'm going to make this a float. I'm going to make this a public float so I can change it and find out if I'm being retarded. That's what I'm going to do. Public float. Yes. I'm going to call it something. If the distance is less than personal hula hoop, right? If distance is less than hula hoop, equals, let's make it 10 for right now. I don't think I need to put F in front of it since I'm defining that as the float. I think that's how I do that. Did I do okay? Semicolons everywhere. Save. Okay. I have no idea what's going to happen now. I think if I'm within a certain amount of space, he should be, it's just still going. Oops, oh, where am I? Oh, I'm right here. Okay. Doesn't seem to be motivated to go away. How about now? What is happening? It does seem to be trying to get away from me, right? It's just bumping into physical. Okay, so this is sort of working. Oops, I died. You know, everybody has their own little personal hula hoop, you know? It's like your personal bubble. It's your hula hoop. I think it works. Well, I've got to make it stop too, definitely. But I also, actually one thing I should do right now is I'm going to make it not interact on the same plane as the other stuff somehow. I think I do that by making a new layer. Yeah, sure. Just give it a UFO layer. I think that automatically makes it ignore things, or maybe I have to do that somewhere else. I feel like there's a thing somewhere that I go to. It has all these little check marks. I know what it looks like. I just don't know how to get there. Layer something, maybe. Edit something. I don't know what it's called. How about that? Well, these are already enlarged. It has like a little pyramid of check marks. Potatoes. What is it called? Edit something. Projects that no. Preferences. Modules. Oh. This has a rigid body. It's in here somewhere. Somewhere I have to do something with this. I don't want to just add one though. I want to actually change stuff. Window. What? Where do I change it? I know that there's a thing. I know that it's not here. I just don't know how to get to it. No, that's the icon. Assets. Show and explore. Open. Import new assets. Import package. You import all sync module project. Derb. Oh, it is. Oh, okay. Project settings. Oh yeah. Oh, derp. Physics right here. UFO. All right. Here we go. I got this. Let's expand this window a little bit here. Okay. Make it go down a little too. Collision matrix. I don't want it to. Wait. I laid those all there. I don't want it to collide with default. I don't want it to collide with anything right now. I want it to collide with ship. I do want it to collide with bullets. These are all checked, so I'm just going to leave them that way. I guess it's going to collide with itself too. Okay. Good enough, maybe. I'm going to come back and be like, what did you do? I'm like, I don't know. And now, okay, there. Okay. Oh, actually, I should probably be saving my scene in my project, which is something you should do very frequently, because sometimes Unity just crashes, and then you lose things and you cry. And I don't want to cry. Okay. It's going away from me. Whew, it's a close call. Whoa. Oh. Okay. And if I come into it from this side. Oh, surprise. Where are you going now? Oh, I crashed into something. Okay. Oh, no. Oh, it's hard to test this with all these asteroids. The thing that I'm trying to test, in order to test this better, I need to make it have way friction drag. No, not drag. It's not drag. That's not what it's called. Oh, no, maybe it is. Let's give it a drag of 1. Okay. Let's see if that in and of itself. Okay, it slows it down. No, I need to make it accelerate. Okay. I need an else. 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 No, not transform. I'm probably going to remove this afterwards. This is just a test. Add force 0. Will that work? Sorry, excuse me. Oh, hello, Sabian man. This is Unity and C#. And hello, N3 Nebs. Nebs, kind of like a Nebuchadnezzar. Greetings. I'm about a month and a half into learning C# and programming in general, and I'm making a small little game to motivate myself because I'm already a game designer. I already make games. I just don't know how to program. So I'm kind of I'm in a mental space where I'm not going to. Okay. Oh, it does work. It stopped. I did not know if that was going to work at all or not. Okay. So now if I can just carefully eke my way up over here without getting hit by anything, let's see what kind of, it has a value of 10 for the space between the two. I want it to start moving when it gets within a certain range. Okay, that 10 is about there. I can shoot it. How far away till it doesn't get reached anymore? Pretty close to here. Let's try 20. 20. Oh. Hula hoop. My personal hula hoop is size 20. There we go. Python. Sweet. My younger brother learned some Python. I've heard really good things about it. The reason I'm using C# is because that's what we use for our actual games. Not that this isn't an actual game, but like our released titles, etc., our future titles for the moment. So it felt like the logical course of action would be to, oops. Oh no! Oh! This is incredibly hard to test when I made the game hard on purpose. And I'm not particularly good at it to begin with. Alright, where... There it is, it's down there. Okay, so... Oh, no. Whew. Oh, crap. Alright. The objective of the UFO is to mix things up a little bit, basically. Right now, I'm trying to get the UFO to, it's going to, in the future, once I figure this all out, it's going to come from the outside, from off screen, and try to make its way across the screen, either from the left or to the right. To the left or to the right, like this. And then it's going to be able to move freely up and down, and its goal will be to shoot at your ship and not get shot by you. And if it does get shot by you, you'll get a big reward, like a large fish fuel and lots of points kind of deal. But it's going to be shooting at you, and I think I also want to give him, because this is more than just boring old asteroids, I'm going to give him a shield that is super bouncy and actually accelerates any asteroids that bump the shield, and the shield will never go down. It's like super powered alien technology. Because, right? Why not? And then it'll make its way across the screen. If it gets all the way across, you miss out on the points. You just, lots of drama, and it made the game a little harder for you for a little while.